How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick, and today we're going to do a deck profile on Pumpking Zombie, an archetype that just came out in the latest set, Maze of Muertos. Now, before we get into the video, I'll ask you guys to please like the video, subscribe, and comment below your feelings on the profile. And with that being said, let's get into it, starting with the main deck. So, starting with the main deck, our first three cards are going to be Pumpking, the King of Grave Ghosts. Now, I think this is a great card to start off with because this is the main card of the deck. This is your main starter, and this is how you're going to be accessing Call of the Haunted. Its effect is you can reveal this card in your hand, set one Call of the Haunted from your deck or graveyard. If you do, discard one card. That set card can be activated this turn. If this card is special summoned, you can special summon one level 6 zombie from your deck, except with 1950 attack. Also, you cannot special summon from your hand or graveyard for the rest of this turn, except zombie monsters. You can only use each effect of Pumpking the Grave Ghosts once per turn. Now, like I said, amazing start. This is a great starter for our deck, and it actually makes it so that we don't really need our normal summon that often in this deck. Next up, we have 3 copies of Stare of the Snake Hair. Now, this is another great starter for the deck. If you can discard this card, you can add one Call of the Haunted or one spell trap that mentions it for your deck to hand. We'll go over the spell that makes this a starter later, but the other great thing about this card is if it's special summoned from the graveyard, you can target one attack position monster your opponent controls and negate its effects. And it can't be used as Synchro, Link, XZ, or Fusion material. So it's really strong interruption for the opponent's turn. Next up, we're playing 3 copies of Gozuki. Now, I think this is another great starter for the deck. Some people only play like 1 copy of this, but I think having 3 is still really nice, especially when you have a higher deck count. When it's normal summoned, you can activate its effect to send one zombie monster from the deck to the graveyard, and also has the ability that when it hits the graveyard, you can banish it to special summon a zombie from your hand. So it can be really, really nice to combo with, and it's a nice starter. With that, we're playing 1 copy of Mizuki. Now, Mizuki is really nice to have as well. When this card hits the graveyard, you can special summon another zombie monster from your graveyard by banishing it. So it's really nice to extend your plays and maybe even get past like turn 3 or something like that. Next up, we're playing 3 copies of Unizombie. Now, Unizombie is another great starter for the deck, and you can target one monster on the field and increase its level by 1, and then send one zombie monster from your deck to the graveyard. So it's another great starter for the deck. There's a lot of sending from the deck to the graveyard in this deck, and we're going to show you the card that you're mostly going to be sending if you don't have Pumpkin already. That card being Glow Up Bloom. Now, when this card hits the graveyard, you can banish it from the graveyard to add one level 5 or higher zombie monster from your deck to your hand. So this gets us our Pumpkin. It's really a great way to start off our combos and get us to our combo starters. We're playing 1 copy of Army of the Haunted. If you control Call of the Haunted, you can special summon this from your hand or graveyard. So it's a really nice extender. If you get stopped and you happen to draw this, it's really nice to be able to just have that other 6 for your rank 6 plays. Really nice to have. And it also lets you be able to reset that Call of the Haunted when it hits the graveyard. Next up, we're playing 1 copy of the Great Mammoth of the Netherworld. Now, I'm not going to lie, guys. I kind of hate this card. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of bad. But it is the only real way we have interaction on the opponent's turn with the special summon effect of Pumpkin. So we kind of have to play it. When it's special summoned, you can destroy 1 card on the field. So it is a pretty okay effect. It's just a brick in every other way. So not the best card, but we have to play it. Next up, we're playing 1 copy of Chang-Chi, the Spirit Owl. Now, this is what we would summon with Pumpkin going first if we went. And its ability is you can send 1 zombie from your deck to the graveyard, and also has the ability that if this card is banished, I can special summon it back to the field by banishing 1 other zombie from my graveyard. So it's very, very nice and helps you get to a lot of extension plays. Next up, we're playing 1 copy of Necroworld Banshee, along with 1 copy of Doom King Ballardrock. Now, I think you know what the field spell is we're going to be playing with this as well, but we'll get to that later. These guys, though, are really strong for the deck because Doom King Ballardrock, when it has Zombie World on the field, it has the ability to negate any zombie on the field, and also I can banish 1 monster in the field or graveyard. And those are all abilities you can use in the same turn. just not in the same chain. And Necro Royal Banshee is able to banish herself from the field or graveyard to activate Zombie Roar from the deck. So it's a very strong combo to have in our zombie deck. We're playing one copy of Eldritch the Golden Lord. This is very nice interruption to have. If you draw it in hand, it's able to send cards from your opponent's field to the graveyard, and also gives us rank 10 access. It's very strong in that way, and we'll get to how it gives us rank 10 access a little bit later. We're playing 3 copies of ECTOPLASMIC Fortification. This is a stupid good card to have in the deck. If you control no monsters, you can add 1 level 6 zombie monster or 1 Call of the Forgotten from your deck to your hand. Now, that is a really, really nice effect, but it also has the effect that zombie monsters you control gain 400 attack. Then, you can draw cards equal to the amount of Call of the Haunted you control. And this deck plays multiple Call of the Haunted, so this could be a Pot of Greed and also get to your starter. So it's an insane card to have in the deck. And both of those effects can be activated again in the same turn. We're playing 1 copy of Call of the Forgotten. This is the field spell for the Pumpkin side of the deck. It has the ability that once you activate it to set up to 3 Call of the Haunted from your deck or graveyard. And on the opponent's turn, when you activate a Call of the Haunted, you can send 1 card your opponent controls to the graveyard. So super, super strong. Actually 1 monster your opponent controls to the graveyard. So super, really strong card, and something that we don't actually get to use that often because of the zombie world stuff, but it's still really nice to have. 2 copies of Delta of Invitation. Now this is how we get our Eldritch stuff online. On activation, you can send 1 level 5 or higher zombie monster to the graveyard, and we would usually send Eldritch off that. You can also make a token with this if you control a zombie on your field already. We're playing 1 zombie world, like I said earlier, so this turns all monsters on the field to zombies, which can be pretty broken into some decks, especially like Yummy. We're playing 2 copies of Curse of the Ancient Turtle. I can banish 1 monster from my hand or graveyard to send 1 zombie monster from my deck to my graveyard. So, like we said, this is a starter, and it also can be an extender, since it's not something that you need your normal summon for. And finally, for our engine, we are playing 1 copy of Foolish Burial to send stuff like Lull Bloom or Valordrock if we need to. Very good for our starters. And now let's go into our hand traps. Now, hand traps, starting off, we are going to be playing 3 copies of Fulos. Now, I don't really think I need to talk about this card much. It's Max C, so it's really good to have in the current format. Next up, we're playing 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. Now, this is another card that I don't really think I need to talk about too much. It's just the counter to Max C, and just a general really great card to have in the deck. So, really, really good. Next up, we're playing 3 copies of Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion. I think this is a really nice card to have in the current format. It's really nice into Draco Tail. It stops their traps along with Ash Blossom. And if someone else is playing Pumpkin as well, this card really hurts Pumpkin a lot. So I think it's nice to have in the current format. A lot of graveyard stuff is happening right now. Now, wrapping up the Ghost Sisters, we have 2 copies of Ghost Mourner. I think this is a really nice card to have into Radiant Typhoon, especially because you're able to use it on the Crocea, get that out of there, and just other times that they special summon a monster that you already know is going to be a problem and doesn't have quick effects. It's a really nice card to have. Next up, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Super Polarization because this 1 is a zombie world deck, and 2, I feel like Super Polarization is just a really good card to have in the format right now. It's just super strong to have. 1 copy of Called by the Grave in case we get fooled or belled or something like that. We can stop that right there because we are very graveyard dependent and we are very fragile to some interactions. 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Now, this is a very good card as well. I will say, however, this could be Impulse, actually. Let's say you take out the Gozukis and the Mizuki and replace it with something like a Samurai Skull. That's all darks in your deck pretty much. So Impulse would be something you could play. So I would maybe even think about taking Imperm out and putting Impulse instead. And look down the line when we get that new Dominus card, Dominus Spark I believe it's called, that will be able to be used by dark decks. So something to look out for in the future. And to wrap up the main deck, we have 2 copies of Call of the Haunted. The deck revolves around Call of the Haunted, so you definitely need to be playing this card. However, I don't think you play 3. I think you play 2. I think 3 is a little bit too bricky. But that is the main deck. So let's get into the extra deck. Starting off with 2 copies of Pumpking the Great Ghost King. Now, this is our main XZ in the deck. It's our main level 6 XZ that we're going to be going into with Chang-Chi and Pumpking usually. On summon, it's able to add 1 Call of the Haunted or 1 card that mentions it from the deck to your hand, and then you can detach 1 material from this card and then just bounce 2 cards from the field to the hand on either field. So it's a really good disruption going second, and going first, it sets up the rest of your board. You can add the field spell to add set another Call of the Haunted, and then continue your plays on. This is a really good card to have in the deck. Very strong. And you can rank it up into the Undying Legion. Now this card is a really nice card. You're able to pretty much just attach a card from your opponent's field to your side and eat it with this. So if if there's a card you don't want your opponent to have in their graveyard or have any access to at all, you just take it from them and have it under this Legion and still have a really strong card there. It's a really nice card. Play 1 copy of Dathomir. Now this is very nice to have if you have one of your opponent's cards in your type of field. If you change a heart them for whatever reason, you can make that with one of your 6s into Dathomir. It does not care what level it is, and has a lot of nice effects for the grind game. Really strong card. We're playing 1 copy of Wallow, Founder of the Drudge Dragons. This card is another good utility rank 6 to have in the deck in case you want to shuffle back one of your opponent's cards in the graveyard to the deck, or maybe take it to your side of the field face down. Very nice to have it for some utility aspects. The rank 10 we're going to be playing in this deck is Varudris, the Final Bringer of the End Times, an Omni Negate. I'm really happy I'm able to play this card again. I haven't been able to play this since UL, so it's really cool that this deck is able to use rank 10s. You could also do the combo that I put in my combo video not too long ago, where you make the rank 10 that adds Christia and the Floodgates to it. You could do that. I chose not to in this build because I wanted to do something different, but if you want to see that combo, you can click the videos up here and it'll probably bring you to that video on my channel. But Varudris is our rank 10 for this version of the deck. We're playing 1 copy of Flying Mary, the Wandering Ghost Ship. This card is awesome. This is like a reborn for you, so it can summon a card from your graveyard by equipping it to that card, and then you're able to actually use this as a disruption, destroying a card in the field by sending this. So this is actually a very, very nice card to have. Playing 1 copy of Vampire Sucker, another great card to have on the field. If you special summon a zombie monster from the graveyard to the field, you can draw 1 card. So it's actually really nice in that way. And also, you can special summon a monster from your opponent's graveyard to their field, and then it becomes a zombie. So if you really need to draw a card, you can do it that way. And you can use it for other shenanigans, stuff like that. It's a really good card all around. Something nice to play with. Play 1 copy of Vampire Fascinator. This is a really great card as well to have. It helps with link climbing a lot. It is able to special summon monsters from your opponent's side of the field to your field. It's really nice to be able to do some rank climbing plays into your rank 4 of the deck, which is Yuki Onna, the Absolute Zero Mayakashi. Now this card is super nice, especially if you're playing into Malice. If you're playing into Malice, this is like an OTK in some ways, because while you control only 1 Yuki Onna, negate any activated effects of your opponent's banished monsters. So literally anything that's banished, you just do not care. Does not work, alright? And if a monster is special summoned from the graveyard, or a monster effect is activated in the graveyard, you can target 1 other face-up monster on the field, change its attack to 0, and if you do, negate its effects. Crazy. Like, it's a really, really strong card. Really good card into Malice and into Draco Tail, actually. Pretty good. So, that's our rank 4, and we're playing 1 copy of SP Little Knight, because it's SP Little Knight, very good disruption to have. Next up, we're playing 1 copy of Fallen Angel of the Golden Lord. This is a really great card to have for our rank 10 access. Like I said earlier, we're able to make this just off of Outlich by itself by tributing the Outlich. So it's really, really good to have in your deck. And when it goes to the graveyard, you're able to summon out Outlich, the Mad Golden Lord. Now this card is buff. It cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects, and has the ability to tribute 1 zombie monster I control to take control of 1 card my opponent has, or 1 monster my opponent controls. It's really strong, and it has 38 attack, so good luck getting this guy out of here. This is a good turn ending card, I believe. And to wrap up our extra deck, we have our Super Poly targets, which are Mundragon and Garura. Since you have Zombie World up a lot of times, Garura is actually really nice to have, especially if they end up being just like a deck that plays all the same attributes. It's so free. And Mundragon just comes up a lot in the current meta, I feel like, right now naturally. So very nice cards to have in your extra deck. That being said, that is the extra deck, so let's get on to the side deck now. Alright, side deck is starting with 3 copies of Moltrami Purulia. This is like Maxi Jr. Really nice to have, and it does really good into like decks like Yummy and Radiant Typhoon. Really good to have this card. We're playing 3 copies of Lava Golem, because actually a lot of times this deck does not need its normal summon. You could really take out the Gozukis and the Unizombies and still get to your end board a lot of the times, depending on your hand that you get. So I think Lava Golem is actually something you could definitely play around with, and having some Kaijus in there as well. We're playing 3 copies of Forbidden Droplet. Now, I think you could actually main this card, to be honest. I just didn't know how I was going to fit it in, so I just put it on the side. But I think you could definitely find a way to put this in your main deck. Droplet's really good right now. I would even side this in like second if I have it in your side deck. Playing 2 copies of Triple Tactics Thrust. This card is very strong in this deck, I feel. In fact, there's a lot of power spells you can get, and a lot of just utility that this card can give. And if someone interacts with your like graveyard stuff, it's good to have something to extend your plays. We're playing 2 copies of Lightning Storm. Now this is very strong if you're going second to get rid of the back row, stuff like that. If you've seen my last video I put out with Pumpking, you'll know that Lightning Storm helped me a lot in that game, especially in that game too. Along with the card Illusion Gate. Illusion Gate helped a lot in that video. Check out that video if you haven't seen it yet. It was a very fun game with me and Randy. I played Pumpkin versus Exo Sister. Very fun time. But Illusion Gate is a broken card. This card is, I would advise buying this card, like a bunch of this card, before it gets realized, because this card is waiting to be broken. And lastly, we're playing 1 copy of Vortex of Time. Now, I sided this because simply I did not want to draw it going second. It's not really that fun to draw going second because you need Call of the Haunted to be activated. But going first, this is awesome. It's an Omni Negate pretty much, because we don't really care if we lose the coin flip and we have to banish 1 monster we control. It still is Omni Negate. It still changes the intended effect. And if we win that coin flip, they banish all monsters they control. So it's pretty much GG's at that moment. I think this is really nice if you know you're going first. And that is the deck, guys. So like I said earlier, I want to hear what you guys have to say about it. Comment in the comments below, like the video, subscribe, join the community. We're a small channel growing, and I would love to see you guys join the community. So with that all being said, I'll see you on the next video. Peace.